Let's get into this right now. First game, Group I, Milk and Honey versus Chinese name that I don't know about. Chinese name that I don't know about. Yeah, that's a beautiful name, isn't it? Chinese name that I don't know about. Alright, so we got a Hausa versus an Ottoman. Very nice. Hausa is a very interesting civ. It's part of the African culture that Definitive Edition added. Obviously, they play very different than the Africans we saw yesterday in Wars of Liberty with the Zulu. Pretty much with any African civ in Definitive Edition, first thing you want to do, get a granary. It's a great idea. You know why? Because granaries are free buildings that boost your hunting rate around the structure. So all these villagers, they're going to start to gather really good around this granary. So I totally suggest you build a granary right away. It's going to help you out, and it doesn't cost a thing. Just a few villager seconds to put it down. But other than that, it's just a free boost to your villagers. And guess what you can do as well? You can also research your hunting dogs technology from this structure as well, called village dogs. And it doesn't even cost any gold either, just wood. So it's pretty affordable actually, leading to a really good solid early food economy. Yeah. Other than that though, you do need to make sure that you balance your livestock market wisely with the herdables that you start with, only selling off your cattle for wood when it's most convenient. You are going to have to do one rather quickly to afford your first house, which it looks like this player did. And they're going to begin start right now. Alright, on the other side, we got the Ottomans, who are right now grabbing a XP treasure here. A pretty good one at that. House are actually grabbing a Haudenosaunee Tomahawk right now. Could be a good military asset down the road, just saying. Especially if Ottomans go with any sort of mid-game elite cavalry, which they like to do a lot. But yeah, Ottomans are sticking to the normal script. They got a house, mosque, trading post. That's the rule of thumb when you play the Ottomans. Pretty much the mosque is especially important for the Ottomans in this version of AoE 3 because the mosque will trickle you experience. So not only do you get your critical, powerful Ottoman shipments faster with the trading posts, but the mosque will also contribute to that XP growth as well. And that sort of gives you a really good foundation as the Ottomans to set up, basically. Now, looking at this deck, it says 1v1 land, so there's a little bit of leeway here. He could go in all age 2, or he could go for one of those fast fortress strategies. We're going to have to see what he's planned for exactly. Looks like right now he's doing a bit of chopping of wood, a little bit of hunting right now, and his politician of choice is the naturalist, which I don't usually see the naturalist a lot with the Ottomans. I'm more used to quartermaster or governor general typically, so that one's a bit surprising to me, but we'll see if it ends up working good in the end there. What alliance will the house be getting? I'm assuming the Akan, right? Oh, the Berbers. The Berbers are pretty solid too. Berbers will give you access to the native unit, the Berber Camel. Essentially, it's like a melee dragoon, pretty much. Counters heavy cavalry, counters artillery. So really good for fighting hussars and stuff of that nature. Should be a pretty good choice overall. Also, it gives you access to the Berber villages, I believe, as well, which is quite nice. Ottomans are just about to age up right now. And they went with capitalism first, which tells us they're probably going for a fast fortress. I think we talked about it when I was co-casting with Phoenix last week, that generally speaking, when you see an Ottoman go for capitalism first in their deck, that typically means fast fortress, because basically this is a gold trickle, and by the time you reach age 2, if that's the first card you get, you will have enough gold to go for that age 3. So it looks like a straight up naked fast fortress for milk and honey. Probably once it gets some of those more powerful age 3 shipments, like the Falks, the Safahi, the Mameluke. Even the Abba shipment's looking pretty good. The Muabir is a pretty interesting one. Usually only good if you run into mercenaries, typically at that stage. But who knows, maybe it'll come handy. There's so many crazy mercenary strats out there nowadays in the 5th edition that you probably do need to have a spy card in your deck just to counter them. But maybe I'm exaggerating. We'll see. Alright, so you get a native embassy with that age up with the Berbers, so you can start to make those Berber camels right away. Also building a university. Universities are very important structures for the Hausa. That's what generates influence, and also allows you to research the unique technologies that your alliance gives you. So yeah, it's quite useful for that. Also getting Palace of Elmina gets a free palace wagon as well as tokens of 300 influence. So gonna get a nice defensive structure there that you can make a lot of your special units with, and then also is going to be able to start some military production from a war camp here, making some of the raiders right now. The raiders are essentially sort of like a step rider, you know, for the Chinese. It's a one-pop sort of anti-skirmisher, mainly base hand cav, that you can use to harass the enemy skirmishers with. It's also going to be really good against Vils as well because, you know, it's a pretty spammable unit and it can pressure quite effectively. Looks like those are going to be used right away to take this substantial treasure of 320 XP. This is one of the best ones you can get on this map for XP, and surely that will propel them quite ahead and put them a little bit more on a similar stepping stone as the Ottomans, hopefully. If they don't steal it, of course. Ooh, okay. Who got that? Milk and Honey stole the XP treasure, but he lost his Explorer. Wow, good. That is beautiful for the Ottomans. See, that is really good for the Ottoman player. And look, the Ottomans also established a barracks already with Janissaries too, so they came prepared with a bit of military as well. That is pretty good, because getting a 320 XP treasure as the Ottomans, that's like one of the most critical things that they can do pretty much for their overall strategy, because now they have a bit of excess that they can actually get the Janissaries out first, and then they can get the Falconets. This means even more protection for the artillery, and even less chance that these raiders will be able to take out those cannons. I think that's quite good, because from what we can see here, the Hausa player is mostly focused on cavalry, going raiders and Berber camels. So mostly an anti-artillery especially setup. So you need all the Janissaries you can get to protect against that heavy anti-artillery focus there. There is a few Fulani archers now, probably because the Hausa player realizes the Janissaries are now a threat. A mega threat now since they just got their veteran upgrade. They're going to be even more sturdy now than they usually are. So Hausa has their work cut out for them here. They're going to have to come up with something now. Because, as you know, Janissaries are a real pain to deal with. They're not like your normal musketeers. Though their anti-cavalry capability is a little bit diminished, slightly. Not a lot, but they're very tanky. They got a lot of HP, so you really need to hit them pretty hard to knock them out. And if you already have this many Janissaries at this stage with the veteran upgrade already applied to them, man, this is going to be a strong push by the Ottoman player here. Falconets behind, Janissaries run forward with the delis. They came from the scout politician. Coming in with the 1,000 coin now. Yes, this is looking like a big push here from the Ottoman player. They're throwing all their resources at it right now, as you can tell, putting it all into Janissary production. Whereas the Hausa player getting a second wood chopping upgrade there, looks like. Picking up snares, which is the second hunting technology from the granary. Doing a good job at herding all the huntables into the granary. I think that's pretty solid. However, it looks like the fort is under siege. And we really don't know where... Oh, his army is over here. He's going for a direct push on the Ottomans' base. Attacking some villagers, Fulani archers as a support. I just don't... Yeah, I don't think that's going to go very well. You don't have enough substantial army to take on that Ottoman town center. And you certainly don't have enough wiggle room because your base is most definitely going down to this. I mean, he's got artillery, his massive Janissaries is basically sufficient enough to take out this base with very little struggle. I think that was the wrong move for the Hausa player to try. Because, yeah, he's just going to send out his Bashi Bazooks and use those to grind even more of your units down. And at that point, your army's so minuscule that the whole siege is over with before it even started. Right, whereas this push here from the Ottoman player This is a fully packed push right here. The best hope that you can get is getting these raiders in there with the Berber camels and maybe reaching the artillery. But if this Ottoman player is on his... Oh, wow, look at that. Right on top of the war camp. That was a good punish by the Hausa player for sticking his army right on top of a production build like that. Really cost him. He still has a Felk, though, so he's still going to get a bit of value out of this artillery either way. As long as he can get the TC down before. Yep, alright, looks like TC is down. He's gonna have to get his Jans into position to guard this Falconet. Get as many shots as he can on the Fly Archers. Probably the Fly Archers are gonna be like priority targeted onto this Falconet. Yep, you can definitely see them doing that. Oh man, look, again, the punish for being right on top of the production building. See that right there? He literally had his Fly Archers right there to attack it. He even sent some levied spearmen from his house with some of the influence that he had to also pressure the cannon. So it looks like the artillery is at least gone now, and the Flying Archers can try to force the Janissaries off. It's still going to be a little bit tough since they're veteran, but it looks like right now the Ottoman player is willing to go back until they get some more heavy-hitting units, like Mamluks, which had just arrived, about 4 Mamluks. Mamelukes will clean these archers up instantly. It won't even be a contest. Mamluk mercenaries, known for their hit points. They got about almost 1.5k hit points. Almost. They're almost there. It's a tanky unit. Those arrows, it would probably take 1 billion Fly arrow archers to even take out one of these cavalries. Never mind all 4 of them. So, yeah, let's see what House even has in... So they're going to try to go for Javelin Riders. That's really the best that they can do. It's a 1-pop Dragoon unit that the African Seals get access to. But unfortunately, they don't even get a single batch of those because of the situation there. And more supporting Janissaries coming up right now. This is not looking good if you're Hausa. They did indeed get a town center up back here. They did get a war camp. And they're going to try to go for the Javelin Riders again. But the problem is, you're going to need a good number of those Javelin Riders to put those Mamluks in check. It's not going to be easy. I wonder if that influence that he just pulled in is so he can maybe get some Berber camels somewhere. Yeah, no, he might try to make them from the palace. Or, yeah, that would be my guess. Because you're going to need to do some substantial stuff here to make this work. Oh, he got Ganansi. Oh, this is a good card because it enables you to get the Echinocobias and train them from the war camp, basically. Yeah, pretty much. And it takes it from being like a pop 3 native warrior to being a regular trainable unit in your army, thus cost and population. But then you can make as many of them as you like, and it's a very powerful unit. Echinocobias are best known for being a musketeer that has 1 splash damage. So it doesn't just damage a unit in front of it, it damages potentially the ones on the side as well, depending on how closely packed they are, making it a very dangerous unit to deal with. If I was going to get any sort of unit to try to come back from this positioning that the Ottomans are putting you in, I would probably be the Akhans. You know, the Akhans would be your best bet. Right, so they got a few of them right now, just arrived from the card. Javelin Riders trying to scare up the Mamluks. I think the Mamluks don't want to take too much abuse here, so they are indeed going to fall back on their Janissaries. Khans also closing in now. You got to get all these ranged troops on the Janissaries. You got to do as much casualties to the Jans as you can, so you can finish off the Mamluks. Oh, nope, Archer's in a bad spot, right where the Mamluks want them. Janissaries are going to have to shove in and attack them. Javelin Riders going into melee. Is that right? They're going into melee now. And yep, just not enough troops there. And not enough to justify a melee attack, I think, because you knew sort of that the Janissaries were going to have their scimitars ready for you, I think. So yeah, that was probably a pretty risky situation to find yourself in, honestly. Yeah. Good battle, though. I mean, it just shows you how powerful Naked Fast Fortress can be for Ottomans. It's a really formidable strategy that can really propel them ahead pretty well.